Welcome to Finance 109 TV. Again, if you had watched our previous episode, our maiden episode that we did earlier, and you have watched, this is a continuation, and we are looking at the topic, financial planning critical to Africa transformation. And in the conversation, we've established that no problem can be resolved by the same mindset that created the problem, according to Einstein. What it means is that if you created a problem and you cannot resolve, you need new information that will change your mind so that you can be able to go and resolve the problem. Or a new generation of people need to be developed to resolve the problem. And that is the essence of Einstein's quote. And Finance 109 TV believes in that. Finance 109 bringing imagination to reality. And again, it's sponsored by Elm Street Finance, financial and tax advisory firm, Click Codes, IT Solutions and Digital Marketing Company, and Christianpreneurs, Christian Summit Organizers and Trainers. If you've just joined again, like I said earlier, you can go to our social media handles, YouTube, look for Finance 109 TV, and also go to Facebook, Finance 109 TV, LinkedIn, Finance 109 TV, and TikTok, Finance 109 TV. And that you enjoy and begin to initiate the strategy of financial planning that will create wellness and that will resolve the issue. Again, the choice of men make men. This episode is about decision points. You have to make a decision that 2025, you take a decision to resolve and execute your plans. Even put up a plan and execute it at the family level, at the individual level, at the business level, and then at the national level and across the African continent, so that the many challenges that we face, like poverty, unemployment, and lack of investment in social service infrastructure will be resolved. And as everybody plans, we begin to resolve the problem. Let me say this, financial market or the financial systems, the banks cannot operate effectively if we, the individuals, are not planning financially. They rely on our financial plan because we open bank accounts, because we buy fixed deposit, we buy some treasury bills, we buy some investment with them. It is those investments that they use to do credit creation. And that means that they lend it to businesses, and the businesses expand, and the expansion leads to employment. And employment, when you get employment, it leads to tax revenue, and government get taxes from there. So it means that the financial system hinges on individuals like me and you who can make the financial system very effective. If we are not there, the banks cannot operate. And so therefore, financial planning is the way to go. And I believe that all the central banks of Africa and the banks in the commercial sector should support this project, financial wellness planning and wellness for Africa. Finance 109 TV, bringing imagination to reality. As we discussed earlier, we discussed what exactly is financial planning, and we said that it is a process of creating a strategy to help you manage your money and to achieve your goals. Manage your business and achieve the business goals. Manage your family resources and achieve the family goals. And manage the national resources and achieve overall economic growth and turnaround for the social well-being of the people as policy initiators and policy managers. Let me also say one thing. The financial planning increases confidence. Financial planning increases confidence. If you just connected, we are discussing the topic, the part 2, financial planning critical to African development, part 2. I'm saying that financial planning increases confidence. Research have shown that people with a written financial plan are confident that they will reach their financial goals, and therefore they are in control of their finances. Number 2, financial plan allows you to set a measurable goal to work towards them. And so if you are confident of achieving your goals, then you are not afraid. You may not even misconduct yourself. The subject of corruption in Africa, the subject of greed, the subject of misconduct by leaders who get into office, managing directors, people in top positions as managers, individuals working at the lower base, from the security to officers across. When you have a financial plan, you are confident that you will achieve it. And that will what will bring financial turnaround of African countries. So financial planning is really a solution base which everybody needs to adopt in 2025 and beyond. Because if people are financially well, they will not misconduct themselves financially. They will not over-invoice and under-invoice. And everybody will be in line. The only thing I know, that when people have planned financially and they are doing well, and they misconduct themselves, that is another state of life. It's that one we call greed. And that one, I will say on a lighter note, you need to be prayed for. You need deliverance. Because when you get to a state of greed, it doesn't mean that you don't have food, clothing, and shelter. It means that even what others have, you want it. That is greed. That's another group of people. But financial planning brings you to a point where your social needs are met. Food, shelter, clothing, the basic needs of life. That we'll discuss through the Maslow theory as we go along. Like I said earlier, a written financial plan gives you confidence. In the part 2, as we go into it, if we do financial planning, if individuals do financial planning, and family do financial planning, and business do financial planning, and nations financial planning, and we execute it well, and we get the results, there are outcomes. The first outcome, it reduces poverty and inequality by broadening access to finance to the poor and the vulnerable group. Number one, facilitate risk management by reducing their vulnerability to shocks and increasing investment and productivity that result higher income generation. That is one of the key benefits of pushing financial planning in the policy direction of countries. And so if you have connected to Finance on ITV, we are discussing financial planning, critical financial transformation of Africa, part 2. And that means that we need to resolve. Let me also make this point. The African countries are at a crossroad. According to the region's most recent economic data, growth in sub-Saharan Africa is projected to grow by 3% in 2024 from 2.4 in 2023 and accelerate to 4% in 2025. Let me repeat that session. According to the region's most recent economic update, growth in sub-Saharan Africa is projected to grow by 3% in 2024. That is not the best. From 2.4 in 2023 and it to accelerate to 4% in 2025. This will not bring in the needed reforms that we need in Africa. It means that we need to do more. And that means that we need to revise growth rates by a serious and effective financial plan from the policy level and to the business level and to the individual level. Let me say this. A nation is about a group of families and a group of individuals that make a nation. So when individuals plan, the nation prospers. When family plans, the nation prospers. And then those who receive the tax revenue begin to redistribute the income and make sure the vulnerable, those who cannot create, are also supported with social policy interventions. And that is the meaning of policy interventions. It's meant for the weak and the vulnerable. And we need financial planning. Another issue that came up as far as Africa is concerned, the funding gap. If we want to get the needed transformation that we need, Africa Economic Outlook 2024 report estimates that to accelerate Africa's structural transformation, the continent needs close to an annual funding gap of $402.2 billion to be able to transform Africa. That is about 13.7% of the projected growth in GDP of 2024 by 2030. We have 5 years. This year we have, in 2025, we have about 6 years to 2030. 6 years. Can Africa achieve or raise $402.2 billion? If we can do this, then it requires that everybody makes a decision to plan. Everybody make a decision to invest. So we reduce consumption and then to see investment as the way to go. Consumption is on the high side. We are over importing. We are over consuming we need to invest to be able to transform Africa. It is not how much you earn, it is your commitment to transforming, your commitment to investment that changes, that bring about transformation. I have never seen anybody who have not eaten for a day or two die. Rather, when you don't take water for 3-4 days, that's when you can die. If for food you become weak, water you may die in the process. And so therefore, you don't need to eat 3 square meal a day when you are in crisis. Let me repeat, you don't need to eat 3 square meal a day when you're in crisis. You can do 2. Again, many people feel shy in their quest to get out of poverty. When you want to get out of poverty, shyness is out. If you live in a community where you know so many people and you think doing a particular job, people laugh at you, please go to another community. Nobody knows you. When you make money, you can convert the money and bring it. It's still money. And so financial planning, critical to Africa transformation, the part 2 of the conversation, is a necessary conversation for African countries and for every family. If you have not connected and subscribed to Finance on ITV, you have to do so. You have to make sure your family watches this program. This program is for the next generation. It's for people who want to change their mind, to transform, and to ensure that the legacy of the African countries, your community, your country, whether from Zimbabwe to Tanzania, to Ghana, to Senegal, to Cameroon, to Nigeria, to Benin, to Togo, everybody needs to get on the train called Finance One ITV. Bring imagination to reality through financial planning and transformation. How can Africa improve its economy? Number 1, through financial planning, leverage on its inherent strength. What is the inherent strength of Africa? The natural resources, the human capital, the digital innovation, and the regional integration. Africa can unlock its full potential through financial planning. Let me repeat, leveraging on its inherent strength. There is a certain strength that we have as Africans. Number 1, the natural resources, the human capital, the digital innovation, the regional integration. These will unlock our potential. Again, number 2, we need to promote the local assembly and manufacturing in resource-rich countries by creating special economic zones and fostering favorable investment environment. And to achieve this, we need to address certain issues. Number 1, address environmental issues. The social and governance issues must be addressed, such as the raw material transparency, to ensure the sustainability development in the sector. Let me say this to add. This transformation requires addressing the challenges of global economic volatility, climate change, and political instability. This is the way Africa can transform, through financial planning and wellness. And we will see that once we also move to another stage of investment in quality education and health and nutritional services, we also look at job creation, and we empower women and girls are true equals, then we would have achieved our aim and transform Africa to bring poverty to an end, to bring the needed drought in our water situation, our energy situations, unemployment, exchange rate situation, and then we achieve the integration that we all needed as African countries. And all can be done through financial planning. If you just connected again to Finance One ITV, bring imagination to reality. It's also brought to you by Arm Street Finance, Financial Tax Advisory Firm, Glycos IT Solutions and Digital Marketing, and Christianpreneurs, Christian Summit organizers and trainers. This, I want you to be part. Again, share to your friends, and they should connect to Finance One ITV on YouTube, on LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. We need to get Africa going. Let's touch our generation. Let's invest in the next generation. Our children from 10 years to 15 years to 19 to 20. These are the next phase. We need to equip them. And those of us who are above 20 to our retirement, we need a change of mind. Change of mind. Change of mind to bring the transformation. Financial planning, I said, it's a process. It's a strategy. It has to be executed, both short, medium, long term. Nobody has ever come out of poverty without a strategy. Even those who do evil, they plan. How much more you want to do good? So financial planning is the engine of economic transformation. Like I said earlier, without financial planning by individuals, that leads to excess income or savings. The banks cannot operate. Industries cannot function. But at some point in the life of businesses, they need to borrow. Where would they borrow? They borrow from you and I, our savings in our current accounts, in our investment accounts, in our treasury bills, in the bonds markets. These are areas that people will put their money. And when the money gets to these areas, then the banks, the financial sector picks it up and begin to invest in various sectors of the economy. And so without financial planning, the financial system is not there. Without financial inclusion, the financial system is not there. And this is you and me starting our financial planning 2025 and beyond. And we need to achieve the sustainable development goals by 2030. And that means that financial planning is the engine. I want to say, let this be the network, the TV station that you connect every day, that you sit down with your kids and watch, and they are not polluted. They sit and watch, they become patriotic. They sit and watch, they become Africans. They sit and watch, and then they develop a culture, an identity, so that they can imbibe the principles of the national anthem of every country. Let me advise and say this. As you pursue financial planning, please go and listen to your national anthem, the national anthem of your country, and look at the words. The words. It put a responsibility on you. And you can only do that through financial planning. Like I said, financial planning gives you confidence. Financial planning, to some extent, prevent corruption. Financial planning, because it gives hope. Anything that gives hope, meaning that you have to wait. Financial planning tells you to have patience. Financial planning tells you to stay calm, because in the next 2-3 years, your dreams will come through. Your goals will be achieved. You don't need to do the wrong thing. You need to maintain an integrity. If you just join and connect it. This is Finance 109 TV, bringing imagination to reality. We are discussing the concluding part of financial planning to Africa transformation, part 2. And in a subsequent conversation, we're going deep into the strategy of financial planning. And I hope and believe that you support this program by sharing and subscribing. We need this to touch our generation. We want to walk to your home, your children, the 10-year-old child, the 15-year-old child must be financially informed with principles and integrity to be able to resolve the many challenges that faces Africa. And I believe and I know this is the channel that will bring the transformation, that will bring the patriotism to resolve the much needed solutions of the basic needs: food, shelter, clothing, plus integrity, to keep our systems, our country going from Tanzania to Egypt, to Tunisia, to Ghana, to Nigeria, to Benin, to Senegal, to Sierra Leone. I am your host and resource person, Kingsley Hayford, a chartered accountant, a tax expert, an insolvency practitioner. And join and connect Finance 109 TV on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and TikTok. And it's brought to you by Answered Finance, Tax and Financial Advisory Service, Clicos, IT Solutions, Digital Marketing, and Christianpreneurs a summit organizer for Christian entrepreneurs and trainers. Thank you for joining. Subscribe and share.